Hey YouTubers, so today is an interesting day for me. I've been considering this for a while, trying to figure out what it is that I want to do, and I've decided to make an executive decision. I'm going to start my own business. I've been working for other people pretty much my whole life. I did do some of my own work for a while. I did some mechanic work, and I also did some upholstery work before I moved to Florida from Illinois. But since I've been in Florida, and last month marks 3 years that I've been in Florida, um, I've been pretty much working a job. I actually worked a couple jobs, still do. And it's okay, but I really, really enjoy working for myself. And so I am going to start my own business, and that's what this video is about. I'm going to walk you guys through what my business is, what I plan on doing, and basic other things. So basically, I'm going to start an upholstery business. This is not something that's new to me. If you're going to start a business, it's very good to start a business that you know about. So for me, I wouldn't start a chemistry business because I don't know anything about chemistry. I actually suck at it. It's one of the few subjects that I didn't do well in. But I'm good at upholstery work. I did it when I was in Illinois, like I said, and I was good at it. I made decent money. It wasn't my all-out business. It was a part-time business that I did in evenings and on weekends and when I had spare time. But what I did do, people liked my work and they sought me out, and the business was growing. I think that it would have grown a lot more had I not moved. But that was not a deciding factor for me when I was thinking about moving to Florida. So I ended up moving anyway. So my business, and so I'm going to show you, I wrote down a bunch of stuff which you can't even, okay, you can kind of see, but you can't make it out. Okay, nobody can read my handwriting but me. It's like my own secret code. But when you're starting a business, very important that you write down your ideas. You write down what it is you want to do, how you plan on doing it, resources that you have available, whether it's money or actual equipment, things like that. Write down goals, write down what you plan on doing, how you plan on doing it, write down a time frame, things like that. And the reason why it's important to write these things down, if it's an idea in your head and it's just in your head, it's quite easy to get sidetracked and derailed as obstacles come along. You might be going down a certain path with your business or even in life, and an obstacle comes along that sidetracks you. It makes you have to temporarily veer away from your original goal. And if you don't have these ideas written down, it's really easy to lose track of where you were going originally, and so you lose focus. So that's very important. Number one thing, write stuff down. Write it down. It's in writing. It's a hard copy, and you can always go back. If you lose focus or you feel like I kind of don't really remember what the objective was here, or I feel like I've strayed away from the objective to a point where I need to get back on track, then you can go back to what you wrote down and say, okay, well, this is what I need to do, and this is how I need to get back on track. So that's always something. Now, I have some equipment for upholstery business that I brought down here with me from Illinois. I have a couple sewing machines, and then I have all my staples and my hog rings and some material, the upholstery thread, just various things that I wasn't really thinking about stocking up on these things when I moved. I just happened to threw everything in a tote tub and brought it down here with me. So I have some things. I'm not starting out completely empty-handed, but I am starting at the bottom. Okay, there are multiple ways you can start a business. And one of the ways would be to get heavy investments to just buy into a business, or buy a bunch of equipment to start a business, or you could do like me, and I am starting from the very bottom. I have, like I said, a couple of sewing machines and some other equipment. I would say the total uh, equipment value I have is maybe $1,000. Okay, I maybe $1,000. It might be a little less than that. It might be a little bit more than that, but I'm starting at the bottom. The nice thing about starting at the bottom is that you're not very heavily invested, and so there's not a lot of pressure to create high amounts of revenue initially. That's important when you're starting out. If you're starting out with a huge investment and the pressure is on that the first month you have to come up with a payment and all these things, then it makes things hard. It makes it hard to focus. I'm not saying it's impossible. People do it all the time. I'm just saying that from my aspect, for what I'm doing, it would be easier for me to start out small and start out at the bottom. I have a storage unit, which if you've watched my other videos and you watch me work on my car, you'd see that I was working in a little storage space. It's a little workshop that I rent out, and it's affordable. It's something that I'm paying rent for with my current job. So it's not unattainable, and it's not something where if I don't make any revenue in my own business, I'm going to be strapped for cash and oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm not going to be able to afford this. Also, all the other things that I have right now have been paid off in full, all the other equipment. So it's not like I have to worry about payments for that. So I'm starting out with very little equity, but very little debt, almost zero debt. And that's a good situation for me. I have to get, I wrote down, like I said, I wrote down a bunch of stuff. And so I'm going to have to get business cards so that I can get my name out there. I'm going to have to figure out the name of a company. I don't have a name. I'm going to have to buy some more sewing equipment, not a lot. The big items I've mostly already got. I'm going to have to buy equipment to make a sewing table. What else? I have advertising that's going to come out of the business cards, and maybe I'll figure something else out, like do what you call Instagram page. God, I'm so technologically a caveman. Instagram page. And I'm gonna have to have goals as far as what I expect from myself, as far as increasing revenue and increasing business. And my objective, the way I look at this, the way I'm going to go about this is kind of like a video game. Like if you've ever played a sim game where you start out with very little resources and you have to use those resources to create ways to get more resources and increase your value of whatever it is, whether it's property or your little army man or whatever it is, you have in your sim game. But the way I see starting a business out is kind of like a sim game. You use the resources you have to create revenue so that you can get more resources and create more revenue. And so that's how I'm going to go about it. And then I have to have a way to track my revenue. It's really easy when you're starting out your own business and you're getting money, especially if you're getting cash, to lose track of how much money you're making, how much money is coming in, how much money is going out. Are you making a profit? That's very important, because that's kind of business 101. If you're not making a profit, then what's the point? So I'll need to do that. I also need to track my progress week to week and month to month, see if I'm doing any better than I did before. I'll also have to track different things, see what works, what doesn't, see if trying to get into marine upholstery would be worth it to me. See if doing draperies, which is something that I considered doing before, if that's something that would be feasible for me. I have the equipment and I have the knowledge to do it. I just don't know if it's something that I would want to get into right now. Down the road, probably, or probably not. Either one. But yeah, so the short version is I'm gonna start my own business today. My objectives today are to create a business name, and then once I create a business name, get some business cards printed up, and also I'm going to go down to my workshop and pretty much try to clean it out as much as possible and get rid of everything that would not be conducive to me running an upholstery business. So I'm going to throw away a bunch of stuff, clear out a bunch of stuff, sweep it up, make it clean. Because upholstery work, you kind of have to keep stuff clean, especially when you're dealing with the lighter materials. Either way, it needs to be cleaned up. I've been neglecting that. And so I'm going to do that. And that is going to be the start of my sim upholstery in real life, and so on top of doing my own upholstery business, I am going to update you guys with videos weekly or bi-weekly. I mean, if nothing happens for a whole week, obviously I won't do a whole video on nothing, but I will try to at least bi-weekly keep you guys up to date on what's going on. So this is me, Trevor, day one, starting a business, and we're gonna see how it goes. I'm really excited about this. This is not one of those where you buy into somebody else's scheme and then you're trying to fulfill their dreams or anything like that. This is me on my own starting a business, as I would say hundreds of Americans attempt to do every single day, except that I'm going to try my best to document my attempt and hopefully my progress in this realm of business ownership. And so, I don't know if you guys would be excited about watching it, but I know I'm definitely excited about creating it. It's something that I've been mulling over for about a month now, and so I'm ready to pull the trigger on this. We're gonna start a business. All right.